Okay, now, so let's continue the discussion for the quarter 1, module 3, which is the flow of funds and the role of financial manager. Okay, so this is the module 3. So the lessons under module 3 are, okay, so you have, from the title itself again, the flow of funds within an organization and the role of financial manager. So you have to do first the preliminary activities. Okay, so what I know, the pretest of this module. So you have 5 items here. And the next, you also have a motivation activities. So just reflect on this quotes from businesses operating in the country. Okay, so you have the Unilever, Jollibee, Globe Telecom, SM Corporation. So let's start with the lesson 1, flow of funds. So according to our reference, there is no structure or standard structure for a financial system that operates in the world. So it differs from countries and among business organizations, because there is a big business organization, there are also small business organizations, so their financial structure varies from each other. So I am showing a figure 1 later, figure 1 in this module, which shows typical financial structures. So I'm showing you the figure 1 of the flow of funds. Lilitan ko lang siya para makita natin. Okay. So, as per the description, and what is it? So, when a household or business, nagkakaroon sila ng savings or excess or surplus cash, ipinupunta nila sa mga investment. So, the financial institution, financial market, financial instruments, which was discussed in module 2, doon sila napupunta. So, yung mga excess, yung mga nasi-save, dito idinadaan. Okay? And then, pupunta siya or ilo-loan siya ng mga borrowers. Could be individuals or corporate entities. Okay, so this is a typical structure of a financial system or the flow of funds. So, could be cash payments mula sa mga borrowers. Cash payments, ibabalik nila sa mga financial institution. Yung mga niloan nila, okay, could be the principal or the interest. And then, returned doon naman sa mga nagpautang, tulad ng mga household or mga businesses. Okay, so cash returned, ayan siya, bumabalik siya doon sa mga nagpautang, which is a great investment sa mga ito dahil kumikita sila ng interest doon sa pera na nasave nila. Okay. So, balik tayo. So, next, we are going to discuss about the short-term and the long-term investment. Okay? So, yung pinakita natin kanina sa flow of funds could be a short-term investment or a long-term investment, depending doon sa magpapautang at sa uutang. Okay? So, kapag short-term, ang decision when the company is experiencing excess cash position. So, since may excess silang cash position, well, pinakita ko kanina, i-invest nila. Okay? Could be long-term or short-term investment. Okay? Ito pala si business. May excess na kita or cash position. So, instead na naka-stock lang siya sa cash on hand or cash on bank, i-invest ng mga business organization. So, I forgot to mention na it is also possible na ganito ang mangyari. Nalilitan ko ulit ito. Okay, so, ayan. So, borrowers you have this financial institution, financial market, financial instrument, pwede na ibalik dito yung mga niloan sila. Or, pwede rin direct na cash payment sa mga nagpautang. Okay? So, pwedeng idadaan dito, ayan, may cash payment ka dyan. At pero meron ka rin cash payment na ibabalik direct doon sa mga nagpautang. Okay? So, but if duman ka dito, of course, cash return pa rin, papunta pa rin sa kanila. Okay? So, yun, just to clarify lang yun. Pwedeng hindi dumaan doon or direct na ibigay ni borrower sa balik. Okay, so yung mga short-term and long-term investment decision, pinagkaplanuhan siya ng financial manager. So, should make a useful financial planning tools, so such as budgeting and forecasting, which we're going to discuss in Module 4. Si forecasting, si budgeting in Module 5, I think. Okay, so company could choose kung ano ang convenient sa kanila na type of investment, considering yung risk and return trade-off. So, the higher the risk, the higher the return. Okay, so, depending kung gaano ka risk-taker si financial manager ng isang company. Okay, let's talk about long-term investment. Okay, should be supported by capital budgeting analysis, which is a responsibility ng financial manager natin. Si capital budgeting, i-assess niya kung yung magiging investment nila for the long term, magiging profitable pabalik sa company. Okay? Okay, so in long-term investment, so you're going to use capital budgeting analysis. So this capital budgeting analysis could be used to assess if the investment will be profitable, kagaya nga nung sinabi ko kanina. And those investment, especially if was financed by debt, so kung inutang yung investment, let's say for example, bibili ng machineries, bibili ng land, but yung pinambili doon, yung pinang-capital mo doon was financed by debt, you really have to think it through, especially the financial manager, that investment in machineries or in land or in your plant or factory would be profitable in the future, in the long run. Okay? So that is why long-term investment should be think through, or you really have to think carefully when you include this in your financial planning. Okay? So, financial institution, financial market, as I said earlier, was previously discussed in Module 2. So, next, okay, so I already discussed this financial system. So, lesson 2 is the role of financial manager. Now, the role of financial manager. So, exercising decision in finance is very delicate task. So, the financial manager should require substantial knowledge of accounting and economics, okay? Because, as I said in Module 1, accounting focuses on accuracy of the financial statements, while finance focuses on analysis and decision-making based on those financial statements. Now, this decision function are broadly classified into 3. So, tatlo lang ang tatandaan natin dito sa role ng ating financial manager. So, yung 3 decision-making nila, which are the operating, investing, and financing decisions. So, first, the operating decisions. So, ang tatandaan lang natin kay operating decisions, daily operations of the company. So, si financial manager, he should determine how to finance the working capital, especially in accounts receivable, inventories, which was used in the daily operations of the business. So, you have the short-term sources, payable within 12 months, so loans that could be payable within the year, and could also long-term sources. Pwede rin kumuha sa long-term sources or mga mauutangan pang matagalan para ma-finance yung daily operation ng ating negosyo. So, it will be matured in longer periods. Okay, since it is much paid later, the lenders expect more risk and place a higher interest rate. So, this is why, sa long-term sources, kung sa long-term sources tayo kukuha ng ipang-gagastos natin sa daily operation, we should efficiently and effectively use it, since mas mataas yung interest rate niya kumpara kung short-term lang ang kukuhanin niya. So, hence, the choice between short and long-term sources depends on the risk, again, risk and return trade-off. If gagamit tayo ng long term, we have to make sure na mas malaki din yung magiging profit na pabalik sa atin gamit yung inutang natin sa long-term sources. So, if short-term, so since lower ang interest rate niya, but at least, we should at least do or use it efficiently pa rin. Okay, so the learners will learn more about this on sources and uses of funds. I think in Module 4, sources and uses, or 5, Module 4 or 5. So after the operating decision, we have the investing decision. Dito naman, ang tatandaan naman natin, sa investing decision, kapag merong extra na nasisave, tulad ng pinakita ko sa inyo sa financial system or do sa flow of funds, kapag meron tayo nasisave or surplus na cash, we should evaluate kung saan natin ilalagay yun. So, saan natin i-invest yung mga excess nating cash. Okay, so investment decision should include placing extra money or funds to stocks and bonds. Pwede rin yun. And also, investing decision, non-current asset acquisition. So, sila machineries, sila plants, sila land, equipments. Pwede siyang i-invest doon ng company. So, investing decision, trabaho din siya ni finance manager. And lastly, we have the financing decision. Now, the last decision is the financing decision. So, financing decision naman, though hindi naman siya directly kabaliktaran ni investing decision, pero sa financing decision kasi, nangangailangan ka naman ng pera. So, sa investing, may excess kang pera. Okay? So, financing na kailangan mong mag-deal, sabi dito, deal or acquiring funds from outside sources. Not from the business operation. So, hindi siya galing doon sa operating activities o doon sa daily operating activities. Ibig sabihin, hindi within the organization ka hahanap ng pangpondo mo. Let's say, for example, kailangan mo bumili ng additional equipment. Kailangan mo kumuha ng additional na capital sa labas. So, yun si financing decision. So, the role of financial manager is to determine the appropriate capital structure of the company. So, if sa tingin ni financial manager ay kailangan talaga or hindi sapat yung pera na nasa inside the organization, kailangan talagang maghanap on outside sources ng mag-finance doon sa magiging investment na gagawin. Okay, so the funds that come from outside sources such as investors, lenders, okay, kung may mag-i-invest, may magpapautang, or even the company owners. So, if the company owners ay magbibigay ng additional capital doon sa company, consider siya as additional financing decision. Okay? Additional financing activity. So in borrowing funds from outside sources, the business pay interest, of course, for the use of money. So, yun na naman ang gagawin ng company. So, since sila yung umutang, sila ang magbabayad. Aside from principal amount ng inutang, magbabayad sila ng interest doon sa perang hiniram. Okay, so the right mix of debt portfolio must be properly evaluated, of course, by the finance manager. Okay? Okay, so I think that ends the discussion for the module 3. So you have to do now your activity. So complete the diagram. Role of financial manager. So what I have learned, what I can do. Okay, so how would you relate the role of financial managers and the role of investors? Ano ang ikaiba niyan in your own opinion? Okay, based on sa nabasa nyo, or you could also look for other references to just enhance your knowledge. And then you also have your assessment. So, put yourself as, or consider yourself as, sorry, masyadong mali. Yun. Consider yourself as a finance officer. Alin dito sa tatlong to? Kung kayo, ang isang financial officer, alin sa tatlong company na to, ang merong, or ang mas attractive company para sa inyo. Okay? Mission activities. Okay, bakit kailangan may good communication skills? Okay, so now we are going to discuss the module 4 of business finance. So that ends your module 2.